I'm Madison Smith.
And I'm Elizabeth Shane.
And today we're talking about Australia.
Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. Open your eyes, look up to the skies and
Miss Smith, I have a question. I thought only kangaroos lived in Australia. Well, actually, from the past 50,000 years ago, people had already populated Australia. And if you think that they're just blonde Europeans, you're wrong. 40% of the immigration people in Australia now are Asian.
The Australians have 500 different languages and 31 basic groups, which are very much associated with the territories they were in. All I know is that I only know 2 different languages.
You know how many I know?
I don't know, Madison. How many do you know?
I know one. And it's American.
Well, there. Okay. Actually, most of the Aboriginal population were multilingual. They had a rich oral tradition of songs and stories and used different styles of rock art to express their culture. They had lots of cultural diffusion through kinship, marriage alliances, exchange, and religious activities. In fact, they very much believed in the dreaming, a concept where the past, present, and future shaped the land and populated it with spirits and different people. Australian Aboriginal people had a very complex social life made of economic, ecological, and religious forces. Religious responsibilities are seen in the state group, which are the leaders of a tribe. These tribe leaders are made of adult males who are principal guardians of the sacred objects, sites, and rituals. They are actually, in fact, all related patrilineally, connections via descent through males, which means that they all have one same male ancestor. Because of this, they all hold the land in a trust known from the dreaming. The dreaming is a religion that they practice. Because of this, they all believe that spirits own the land and treat the land very respectfully and are ecologically very nice to the land. Because of that, ownership of land is non-transferable to anyone else. Another type of group is called a band. A band is usually consisted of 2 or more families and is a basic economic group which they interact on a daily basis. A band is very mobile and can quickly adapt and change to the ecological conditions that they live in, such as if they have a rainstorm, they are able to move very quickly to a place that doesn't have a rainstorm. Most of the time, the estate group members are scattered in bands along and beyond their range looking for food and water because they are not agriculturalists and they are hunter-gatherers, so they keep looking for places to hunt and gather different seeds and fruits. In social categories, they split into 8 subsections in which people are born into them and can never be changed throughout their life. These are useful for being labels to address and references into different generations and different lineages of heritage.
Do you know what time it is, Liz?
It's time for
the
open letter!
All
Let's
right.
see, what's in the secret compartment today?
We have a viola. So, in Australia, there's a group called, or a dynamic duo called Two-Set Violin. And they're Asians that live in Australia now. And they're huge on YouTube and they play the violin. So, it's kind of in the name, but it's like whatever. Anyways, so they play the violin and they have a huge, impact on people in the music world. They have a huge impact in the music world.
So they are Asian, which means they immigrated from Asia. In fact, there's a quote from Pauline Hanson, who delivered her speech to the Parliament in 1996 about immigrants. I believe we are in danger of being swamped by Asians. Between 1984 and 1995, 40% of all immigrants coming into this country were of Asian origin. They have their own culture and religions, form ghettos, and do not assimilate. Of course, I will be called racist. But if I can invite whom I want into my home, then I should have the right to have a say in who comes into my country.
1606, the first Europeans had found Australia. The Dutch explorer William Jans had found and declared the west coast of Cape York Peninsula. He then declared and decided that there wasn't much left to explore and didn't think much of it, so he left. In 1770, James Cook, the British explorer, claimed the east coast of Australia, which is called New South Wales. By then, the Americas had already declared independence from British rule, and so the British were forced to send their convicts to Australia. By 1788, Aboriginal people have occupied and utilized the entire continent. Later exploration led to the understanding that New Holland and the English colony were the same island, the island of Australia.
This is the thought bubble. In 1788, the eastern side was New South Wales. By 1825, the western side had become Western Australia. In 1836, there was South Australia. And by 1851, another southern area was called Victoria. In 1859, New South Wales had divided into two, and Queensland was added. After 1911, the northern part of New South Wales became the Northern Territories. Australia is a federation of 6 states and 10 federal territories. The mainland consists of 5 of the 6 states and 3 territories. Australia was overlooked because of its isolation geographically and economically.